Lakers, good morning to you once again. Welcome back to Dailies today, and we're back for the second part of the show. It's 7:32, and I'm Sheriff Quadry.
I'm Jimi. Disu. Good morning.
We're going to start the show by first informing you that you can watch on Facebook and on YouTube, apart from listening via the radio. So if you want to watch, please go to our Facebook page, Nigeria Info 99.3, as well as our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info 99.3 as well. Let's know what you think. We've got the papers here, but we're going to start with the breaking news this morning. The reported coup in Gabon. We're hearing that army officers they have taken power. Like we said earlier, a family has been ruling in that country for about 53 years. One family, in Gabon for 50. The army, about 24 of them, were seen on TV this morning announcing that they've seized power. They said that we've decided to defend peace by putting an end to the current regime. There was an election in Gabon on Saturday. The result was announced a couple of days ago, and then the army took the decision.
Well. This is the second yellow for African leaders. It can no longer be business as usual. This Gabon case reminds me of that of Togo. It must be the same number of years. It can't continue like this. And you can't hide under some so-called democracy, whatever. Elections that are producing the wrong results, rigging yourself into power. Rigging yourself into power itself is a coup. Okay? But African leaders need to be extremely careful. You can't be seen and perceived to be fully corrupt. Okay? Africans we are more educated. We have more educated numbers. The social media has opened up people's eyes to their rights. And therefore, and I remember during the elections, I kept on saying with the Oga here that, look, the days are gone. Transparency is key. And so this is the second yellow to all African leaders, including our own.
Guess what?
What?
France colonized Gabon. They spend the CFA franc, and they also have rich uranium deposits.
There you go again. Apart from that, those of us who grew up in the 70s, military governments were the in thing then, because of the same problems that we have now. So when you find even here our own defense ministry say we support the president, why should the defense ministry tell us we support the president if something was not amiss? Support the president against who? You get what I'm saying? So we are sensitive to these things, but we are still doing the things that will enrage the people. Ordinary palliatives, we can't get ourselves organized. There is a rumor in town that certain persons are getting certain amounts in the range of between 200 and 250. It's a rumor. I hope it's not true. I don't know where this is coming from. But we need to be careful. Our politicians need to be very, very careful. Just this morning, I was reading about the politics of what is going on in Lagos State. Come on. Your political problem is not our problem. We want our state to be run aright. And it also, goes up all the way to the top. So this is the second yellow. We should take it very serious. We should be careful how we respond to that of Gabon. But luckily, Sheriff told me this morning, I didn't quite pick very early, that they're in Central Africa and not under ECOWAS. So that's what we have this morning. Let me quickly chip this in, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
If you have a flight that goes through Europe, reports on the Daily Mail in the UK this morning indicates that there is some problem that could keep you for even more than 24 hours waiting for the next flight. So if I were you, especially if it's a connecting flight, you need to check with the operator before you sit on that seat, either this morning or tonight. Okay? So that's just an aside. Not too many of us are traveling anyway.
No,
I'm not going anywhere.
No. Let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. Let's go to the Vanguard. Page 8. Cabinet Obasa eyeballs Sanwo-Olu over uncleared nominees. I wanted to talk about this morning on the lead.
Yes.
I just,
It's Wike that took the front burner. Wike, there's no magic in what Wike did. He's sitting virtually. He was sitting as governor as one of the richest states.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes, and the level of exposure of his constituency, to be honest with you, is not comparable to other states. So he bamboozled everybody, you know, and you know what that means. You get because look, apart from building, like he said, Julius Berger bridges and so on and so forth, we know that he was pensioners were being owed, salaries were not necessarily paid on time. But he did a lot of contribution. He helped build law school, build this, build that. I don't know whether the River State people are happy with their money being spent in that way. But that's the problem for them to solve. I have a lot of fish to fry. Let me face this Lagos one.
Yes, sir.
This one is okay. So you need to get, if you're interested in this politics, you need to get Vanguard is page 8. It says Cabinet Obasa eyeballs Sanwo-Olu over uncleared nominees. Okay, so the new information that I see, well, not information, but is beginning to emerge. What is actually, like they will say in Jamaica, if you don't know, ask Ratata, you will know what Agwan.
What Agwan?
Because if you know what Agwan,
Ogbo.
What Agwan. Throwing his weight behind the speaker, the lawmaker representing Alimosho, Kehinde Joseph, urged the governor to consider APC members. Now we are getting to go who worked for APC's electoral victory in the last general elections. Even though it is a reality, things are not done like that. The reality is that politicians want to be rewarded, but it's not in this manner.
So, can I quickly chip in something?
Yeah.
So I heard that some of these commissioners didn't actually vote.
And so what?
Excuse me. And so everything.
And so what?
Like you did not vote for your party.
How did they know that they didn't vote for
They know
party?
themselves now. They have people
For
in
God's
all
sake,
of these places
for God's
now.
sake, politicians are masters at propaganda. How did you see
let them come out and claim that they vote then. Let them come out and say that we voted though.
Anyway. The political equation has nothing to do with you or I.
Yeah.
That's for them to solve. What we want are people, especially those who have a track record. That's what we are saying. We're not saying that don't put other things into consideration. But the issue that's why you see now, you remember before the elections, I was always saying what politicians want is different from what we want.
So you always say yes. You always say that.
So what we are now seeing is that okay, so the APC virtually you can call them a winner takes all party. That's what it is. And their boss at the top has shown example at the very least for whatever consideration. He has a PDP man who is a minister. Is this the PDP? Well, he was PDP when he was.
Well, he hasn't said that he's still a PDP man.
Did Wike vote for APC?
Well, I may not be able to tell.
No, stop
you know, I may not be able to tell. I may not be able to. Okay.
Kehinde Joseph says that people have been calling us politicians thieves. I did not. I didn't say you are thieves. But they forget that we are closer to the people. What do these so-called technocrats know about the community or wards? Oga, there's nothing like a so-called technocrat. You're either educated or you're not. And I don't like this idea of deriding the value of education in what we are talking about. Because the speaker also made reference to something like that. And he said that the secret there is that whenever the executive sit during the executive council meetings, they want them to discuss issues affecting people. That is why we have an assembly. The assembly should be made up of politicians who are closer to the people to bring a balance.
Exactly.
So if you have politicians in the assembly and politicians in the executive, where's the balance? What it labor? How do I translate that to Kofi now? Hey, you say
I had labor.
You heard what?
Labor.
Labor. So I don't know if it's laboring as per labor in vain or Labour Party. A woman in labor.
Kofi, you have to.
I'm a bad boy.
You have to go. I'll send you to one of the schools to go and learn Yoruba. What titi labor? He will translate it to you. How did titi labor become labor?
I have no idea.
You know, I want to urge our governor that whenever he decides to choose a commissioner, he should first consider those of us they have tagged irresponsible. You don't admit such things now. What Mr. Kende, he's Honorable Kende Joseph, and he talks about the votes that he delivered. It's not about votes, sir. It's not about votes. Let us run this state aright. It can't just be politicians. We are not saying that politicians are not technocrats. Of course not. I think Obasa is a lawyer or something like that.
I'm not sure.
I think he's a lawyer. Election is different from appointment. The government should pick 2 commissioners. The deputy governor should pick 2 commissioners and let the speaker and other members pick 35 commissioners. Come on.
No.
Yes.
Did he say that?
A source who spoke in confidence, one of their politicians said that the governor should pick 2 commissioners, the deputy governor should pick 2 commissioners and special advisors. Then the speaker and other members pick the 35 commissioners, special advisors, based on the performance of each constituency. You have put the wrong thing forward again. Here we are. It's not about constituency or politics. It's about delivering the deliverables to the people. To aid the chief executive. That's why the government is called chief executive. Well, is it called chief executive? Because these things crop up. You're not even sure whether it's the right thing to say. You know, and then the Vanguard talks about another source told the Vanguard that the Cold War between the governor and the speaker is what could be regarded as a battle of supremacy. It has nothing to do with citizenship or who is an indigene and who is not. He is fighting against engaging more technocrats in Sanwo-Olu's administration than politicians who fought for the victory of the party. He has been meeting with the entire council chairman in all the different wards to get their loyalty on the issue. Obasa is not a Lagosian, and he cannot be fighting for indigenes or non-indigenes. If he does that, he will shoot himself in the foot. In his reaction, Obasa noted that politicians are representing the people in their different constituencies and should be compensated. That is where the main problem is. But there's an APC member who Vanguard also spoke to who said it's unfair to blame Sanwo-Olu. This thing that we have, this habit that we have of not standing up, all these people don't want to be identified. Because it would lend credibility to what they're saying if they could stand up and say, this is what I think. But apparently politics is not like that. So they also talk about divisions between local governments and GAC members and so on and so forth. Gradually, if care is not taken, APC in Lagos must soon be described as a sinking ship.
I think this is a reflection of what the foundation of APC in Lagos is. Now everybody wants to flex their muscle because Baba is in Abuja. Baba has bigger fish to fry, so Baba has no time to look at what is happening there. So everybody want to grab the kind of power that they see that is there for them to grab. So first, there is no respect for the party structure itself, because I do not see why somebody will say that the governor should pick 2 commissioners.
That's what they want. That's what it is.
When obviously the party, as a matter of fact, should be the one to say, okay, Mr. Governor, these are the things these are the people that we feel should be part of your cabinet, and the governor be the final decision maker, because he lives, he dies by whoever works with him.
Part of the problem also, I remember...
You now want to be sharing commission amongst House of Assembly members.
But that's the politics that we're playing.
That's a... well, yeah.
That's the politics that we're playing. And these are part of the things that build up anger and animosity towards politicians and result in things like coups and so on and so forth. Because what is beginning to manifest here is that if you are not a member of the party, you can't even offer yourself for service, even if you are the brightest that ever is. And if you can see, when they keep talking about who is not a technocrat, that shows you a kind of complex.
It's a complex issue.
A complex.
It's purely a complex.
Yes.
I was see. It's a foundational problem what
It's
they have
complex.
in APC because they resolved to take anybody and everybody into their party and make them strong, make them powerful. Anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter to them.
I'm going to be very blunt here. If we had our first 11 of well-educated and exposed people in our assembly, you won't be hearing this kind of. How would I be talking about technicals or no technicals when I have a good standing myself? So it's.
I mean, why do you feel threatened?
Why do you feel threatened? And I'd like to sound a note of warning that some of us have a fair idea of what went down in the last election. Those who attributed it to Obi don't have a clear understanding.
No, they don't.
Of the emergence of Obi of what went down there.
No, they don't.
If they don't get their act together, they will have themselves to blame. So, yeah.
Let's move on to our next story. 7:48. Yeah, we spent some time there. Let's go to the editorial in the Vanguard newspaper. Travesty of ministerial screening.
Well, the Vanguard is not telling us anything new. But they make a case here, and that case is brewing, and the government needs to face it clearly. Okay? They talk about the travesty. The ministerial screening was a joke. You said that, didn't you? I can quote you to say Sheriff said that.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you said something.
I did not.
Maybe not in those exact words, but you insinuated it. Yes.
Why you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll say it on your behalf. And they said that, but they make a reference to Hannatu Musawa. That is the minister who is a youth corper.
Yes. Arts and culture.
I read a very nice piece by Femi Falana on the issue, and I think I'm swayed to his own side. It's just it's untidy for a corper to be a minister, to be honest. I think that it is and it is improper. Even if you can bend the law to let it happen, there are some optics that just don't sound right. I mean, if the woman was so important, which I really don't see, if the woman was that important, you could wait for her to finish her service and then appoint her. You could leave the ministry, that position vacant, knowing that she had only about 7 months to go, and then you appoint her a minister. But this idea that we are the power and we can do what we like, it's not going to do the government any good. And let us remember this second yellow. We must remember this second yellow. And they also make the case of Magu, who was screened by the DSS and sent to the Senate for confirmation and so on and so forth. That is way back. However, this paragraph catches me. The Nigerian Senate has become notorious for failing to do a thorough job of screening ministerial nominees. The unhealthy culture of take a bow and go, especially for former lawmakers and some governors, which the APC regimes which all the APC regimes have continued from their PDP predecessors, have become a sad joke. That's a reference to Wiki, I'm sure. However, a closer look, this catches me, Sheriff. Kofi, listen, I don't want to be misquoted to say that I spoke about what was it he said just
I don't misquote you. I've never.
No, I'm Kofi. It's Kofi. When he said that, when I said Katiti Labour, and
Labour.
They said that. However, a closer look at why the federal lawmakers take it easy on pretty much every nominee shows elite conspiracy at work. Members of the political elite tend to close ranks to protect their interests, thus putting the interests of the public at the back burner, or to put it in my words, bounding the general public to the Philistines, the common man.
Indeed. So we're going to quickly speed to page 6 of the Vanguard. Police parade 67 over alleged gay marriage in Delta.
Did you see the video?
No, I did not.
Horrible.
I did not.
Horrible. I mean, if you're not look, let's face it. In Africa, we have zero tolerance for these things. I see it as an anomaly, not something to be celebrated. That is my view. And okay, so the laws of the land in Nigeria say gays cannot get married. If you are gay, you can do it in the confines of your home, but not in public, and so on and so forth. So we've arrested these people. My concern now is going to catch a lot of world attention, especially from the Western powers. They're going to catch a world, and they will put a lot of pressure on the government over this. They will tighten the noose on the president's neck over this. He must be able to resist the pressure. Like if somebody should Google Museveni when at the time when he was being put under the same pressure, and he said, and even members of his parliament said they'd rather go down when they were going to than submit themselves to this. It's a pity. I mean, I know. Okay, so I know that sometimes by being gay is not really your own whatever in a lot of cases, but at the same time, it's not something that we want to spread. It's against our culture. It's against our beliefs. It's against our culture, and we should be able to stand our ground. If you saw the people, young people don't even know what the law says. It was a big event, oh. Go to the. Why are you looking at me? As if I was there?
When you say it was a big event, though,
that big? I don't like. You saw it.
I saw Aisha Yusufu's tweet where she quoted it.
No, okay, I saw the video.
There's a controversy of sorts because she says, quote, misplaced priority in terms of the Nigerian police arresting.
That's her own view.
Yeah. Well,
the police, look, in life you need to choose your fights. The police no police is everywhere, all over the world. You pick the ones. This is something that must be nipped in the bud. It must be nipped in the bud.
I don't think it's misplaced priority.
I don't think so. But that woman, she's a Shantgri person.
I don't think it's a misplaced priority at all. Let's go to the news page of the Punch, the Metro page, pages 4 and 5, and we've got some from Daily Trust.
Daily Trust. I think I want to start with the Daily Trust because that one caught my attention. This one, God Almighty. Motorists lament as Long Bridge expansion joints reopen.
Ooh.
Hey.
That's Long Bridge along Lagos Ibadan.
Are lamenting the reopening of the bridge joints and the effect of potholes on their vehicles.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I've seen those.
Oh my God.
I've seen those.
Oh my God.
If your tires are not good, you'll be.
Those of you who buy used tires.
Leave us.
Okay, so the story here: man jailed 1 year for stealing 2 cows. How do you steal a cow?
I don't know.
It said the man is 45 years old and he was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment for stealing 2 cows worth 700,000. It doesn't say how he so. Oh yes, Abidin said that on the same day at about 2. Okay, the prosecutor informed that Abidin had informed the court that one Garba Audu reported. No, they've mixed up these stories.
Yeah,
they've mixed up the stories. They mixed up the stories. They mixed it up with a man who killed. This is the story that got mixed up here.
Oh.
A man arrested for killing his creditor for over 485,000 naira debts. Okay, then FCTA, Wike's constituency, they want to introduce monthly sanitation. I don't like that idea of sanitation.
In the FCT?
I've never liked it. I think it's a lazy way to handle it. Why should you lock a place down because you want to clean it? You clean every day.
I'm not sure that we still do that in Lagos.
No, we don't in Lagos.
But we used to.
There was pressure on Ambode, but he resisted it.
But Sheriff is not talking. Sheriff has a lot to say about this.
About which one?
He lived in River State. He was there on the
he
knows everything about
what
Saturday environmental sanitation.
What happened?
Well, we used to have it in Lagos too, actually.
Yes.
We used to have it in
Tell
Lagos
us
too.
about Port Harcourt.
Yeah, please.
Why are you people pointing at me? Well, there's nothing there. We have to go, Seth. We really have to go.
Sheriff should tell you about how they would announce sanitation only to suspend it because PDP had an event. Or someone's daughter was marrying, getting married. So they'll just announce it. Oh, there's no more sanitation.
I'm not a Wike fan, no. Honestly, I don't know all this gra. What he had going at that time, that sprung him up even with the PDP. the way I look at it, had to do with his ability to finance the party. It's about money. That's what, when you heard, what's the late minister in also PDP? What's his name now? Elderly man. They called him the fixer or something like that.
Oh, from Edo State.
Edo State, yes. What they called him, the fixer?
Mr. Fix-It.
Mr. Fix-It. He fixed the political part. The money he was Minister of Works. All the money he should have used in getting the job done. He didn't fix it. So let's get that one clear.
Okay. We have to go now.
Why is it that when
we really must go?
I think you have been.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. We have to.
You have been targeting me. You have been targeting me.
Well, you're back at 9 for Diabumi.
I'm back at 9 for Diabumi. There's a very interesting story there of one Dan who wait till 9 o'clock.
Okay, good.
I think
good.
The name you're looking for is
Guys,
Tony Aneni.
Tony Aneni.
Guys, we have to go.
Okay.
We'll have the news for you at the top of the hour.
All right.
Whenever I tell people I'm a full-time master's student and a content creator, they go, huh? How are you able to do both?
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired get fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.